Good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of Mansfield Town News and Views. In tonight's episode, we've got plenty to discuss as always. We're going to be talking about the Northampton game last week, as well as talking about the impressive performance against Port Vale, as well as Nigel Clough, as you can see at the bottom. So, as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on all things MTFC. I just want to start off by talking about last night's game. I think we can all agree it was, without a doubt, one of the best performances that we've seen for a while at Mansfield. That's all you can ask for from any team is from to run the socks off and give it their all. And the players did that last night. They really did turn up last night. And coming away from that game, we was unlucky not to win it, really. So, credit to the lads for that. You can't ask anything more from the players for them to give 110%. And again, it just shows you what the players can do. And Stephen Quinn again was a massive influence when he came back into the side. Not just because of his experience, but because of his know-how and being vocal on the pitch is a massive thing. But as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below about the Port Vale match last night. What really stood out for you? Who stood out for you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll read some of your comments. But yeah, like I say, all in all, it's just positive from start to finish. Like say we just showed what we can do against a side who was in form. Port Vale, they was the informed team going into it, and yet we came up against them and completely played them off the park. So again, it does show you we can match other teams higher up. We know that, and again, that's all you want as a fan, innit? Really, just for your team to go out there and give it their all. That's all you ask for from any players, and credit to the players for that. They ran themselves into the ground, and we was looking up to win the game, but that performance hopefully will give the players confidence going into the upcoming games that we've got. And obviously it's been tough without a win in so many games, but all you can do is keep working hard and keep on giving it a go, and sooner rather than later, we're gonna win a game. And again, last night, we very nearly did that. So, can't say any further than that. Evening, everybody. Evening, John. Evening, Ryan. Good to see Quinn. Let's hope we can get more of the injured players back. Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. We talked about this before in the past about Stephen Quinn, with the experience that he brings, very vocal on the pitch and, like a leader on and off the pitch. And again, I can't really single anybody out last night because everybody put a shift in. I was quite impressed with George Lapsley. They took the goal well, had an overall good game. Harry Charlesley, like Lapsley and Quinn, dominating the midfield, got stuck in, put some good balls up top. And again, everybody just played their part in last night's result. And again, if we can only play like that every game, then we've got a chance at getting more results. So, like I say, hopefully last night's performance will give the players confidence. But how many times have we come out and said that sometimes after games when we've played so well, and yet the following game we've not been able to follow that up. But hopefully the players can do that. Let's hope they can follow it up and get the results. Let's get down to some more of your comments. Coleman, man, good evening. Hi, Mark. Better performance last night. Should have won. Hopefully turning the corner. Hope so. Like I say, we wasn't lucky not to win the game. Should have easily got a second penalty. I don't think anybody can argue with that. It was good to get a penalty in the first half, so he got that one right. But the second decision, it was such a clear penalty. How it wasn't given, we'll never know. But League Two referees again. But yeah, like I say, I don't know how he didn't get a second penalty. But anyway, like I said earlier, that's all you ask for from any players is just for them to give it their all and run themselves into the ground. And again, if we can carry on doing that, then we're going to pick up more results. So yeah, let's hope we do to turn a corner. Yes, Exeter's going to be a tough game. They've always been a side that we have struggled to get results against, but like I say, let's hope now with the players that we've got coming back from the injuries, they can give us a much needed boost going into it. But yeah, like I say, so many positives to take from last night's game. Going into it, we knew we had to get something from the game. And to go a goal down as well and come back from that, even when we went a goal down, we didn't let the heads drop. The players kept on running for it to try and get back into the game, and we was a much better side on the night. And if anybody saw Darrell Clark interview, he said after the match that we're in a false position, and he seems to think we'll be in the top 7. So that just shows you, how far we can go. It's just the players just need to just build on this, if anything. But yeah, like I say, so much positivity from last night's match. John, play like that every time will be okay. Well, yeah, that's it. If we can keep doing that and keep on producing that most weeks, then again, that's all you can ask for as a fan, isn't it? Really, and again, the players did that last night. Because obviously, you compare it to the Northampton game last week, where we just didn't turn up basically, and we didn't, look like scoring essentially, and compare it to last night's game, it was a completely different team, a different outcome completely, and again, let's hope the players can just learn from it, if anything, because we know the quality that they have got within the side. It's just the players believing in themselves and taking more chances, if anything. And we showed that last night with the football that we played. We really gave a good account for ourselves. And again, that's all you want from your team, really. Let's get down to some more of your comments. Ryan, that's all we ask for, the players to give 100% and hope it turned a corner and everyone can believe in Nigel again. Well, yeah, this is it, Ryan. And like I was saying to somebody last night, was a couple of wins and then that's it. All of a sudden, everybody starts on praising the manager, really. And this is how quickly football can change. If we can get a couple of wins on the bounce, then all of a sudden the opinion changes. So yeah, like I say, we just need to keep playing the way that we're playing, and sooner or later we're going to get a win, because last night we were so close to doing that against a side who have been doing so well this season. So if we can do that against a side that's been playing well this season, then again, why can't we do that against any other team, really? What have we got to lose? Just give it a roll, really. Excuse me. Let's have a look. Carl Mineman heard horrible rumours last night saying Clough was resigning. Don't know if you heard it was rife in Sandys Bar. It's funny you mentioned that as well, actually, because when I got to the ground last night, there was a couple of people telling me similar things about something had gone off between the board and Nigel. Some words got said. Now, me personally, I don't know anything about this. Again, I talk about Stags, but I don't know anything within the club. I'm just in the dark as everybody else. Everyone's been asking me the same question if I've heard anything, and I'm in the dark as everybody else. So, because the rumour was saying that last night, if Nigel would have lost the game, he'd have got the sack. Now, I don't think there's anything in that personally. But again, I don't know anything, so I don't know if there's anything in that personally. But again, that's what people have been commenting on saying last night. But again, I don't know if there's anything in that, to be honest. But who knows? But this is what I was saying though to people though. It's like if we was to sack Nigel, and I'm not saying we should. I think we should give the guy time, because end of the day, if we did bring another manager in, it would take someone else time to get to know the players and to change playing style. So wouldn't we just be better off sticking with Nigel, in my opinion? Yes, it's been frustrating. Yes, the results should be better than what they are, but it's going to be tough for any manager when you've got so many injured players out and suspensions um, and that. So it's one of them. Like if we did get a new manager, it would take even more time for someone else coming in to get to know the rest of the players and change things around. So personally, I think we should stick with Nigel. We've got a lot of games to be played yet, and we've got plenty of time to turn things around. So I personally would stick with him. I wouldn't sack him at all. Yes, it's frustrating, but I think we should still give him time. To be honest, end of the day, he's got records at the other clubs he's been at Burton, Sheffield United, and Derby, where he's had similar runs before, and he's managed to turn things around. So I just think we should stick with him, to be honest, because he knows the players, he's signed the players, and not just that, but who else can you think realistically that would come to Mansfield? So I'd just stick with him personally, but let us know your thoughts in the comments as well, guys. Would you stick with Nigel or would you have a change? Me personally, I'd stick with him, if I'm being honest with you. But that's just my take on it. But no, no, I don't know if there's anything in that rumour at all, to be honest with you. But again, I don't really know, but I don't think there would be, if I'm being totally honest. Let's have a look. William, evening, William. Daniel Clark tipped us the top 7 after last night's performance. Yes, he did. And again, even Darrell Clark, he's seen what the players can play like, and that's coming from a manager that's well experienced like Clough, and we've completely played him off the park. So it was very nice of him to say that and compliment us on that. But no, I'm one of them. I think we should stick with managers. I mean, it's one of them. Yes, the results haven't been great. We know that, and where we are now is not where we'd want to be at any stage in the season. But the way I look on it, we're in mid-October, and there's so many games to be played. I mean, you've seen it before with previous teams. They've started off really poor, but then they've managed to turn it around in the second half of the season. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but why can't we? So personally, I think he does need time to try and get more results on the board. And again, who else would you get that could do that, to be honest? So I think we're better off just sticking with Nigel, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. Let's have a look. Right, just one sec to get down some more of your comments. Ryan, I think John Radford should come back and run the club instead of David Sharp, aka CEO, doing it, and the board. We cannot keep swapping managers all the time. We will become a Watford, lol. Yeah, I see what you mean. Now, the only thing I would say about David Sharp is, for a chief executive, you don't really hear much from him, if anything at all, to be honest. And we've always known with the Radfords, they like to stick with managers, give them plenty of time to try and turn things around, and I don't think that will ever change. They've always been generous to every manager that we've had. They've given us a big budget, and they've been really supportive with whoever's been in charge. So I don't see that ever changing, nor should it. But I mean, look, you don't know what goes off behind closed doors, and I know there's been a lot of rumours about Nigel getting the sack and other things that's being said, but the reality of it is nobody really knows these things, if it's true or not. And again, I'm not doubting anybody's source saying that they're lies or anything. I'm just saying you don't always know what goes off behind closed doors. But yeah, I do agree with you on the John Radford, though. I think he should be here more often, running things. But obviously they've gone for an approach with David Sharp being the CEO and running things. But I do believe we should stick with managers and give them more time to change things, because every club goes through a bad run of form. So you can't, like you say, you can't keep changing managers, but just because we haven't won in so many games, because you look at the top teams and teams that haven't had the best starts and they've managed to turn it around. So it's just one of them, um, it's a big thing in football, giving managers time, because it's not like managers get given enough time in football, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I agree on that one then, 100%. Let's have a look. Some more comments about Nigel. Call man, give Clough all season at least. Darrell Clark praised the club and fans, but he is a Mansfield lad. Yeah, well, I've always said to people, just give it till Christmas time and then see where you are then, and then go from there. But like I say, look, Clough's not daft. He's been in the situation many times before in his managerial career, and end of the day, most of these players are the ones he signed, so he knows them better than what we do. He sees them training, day in and day out. So, it's one of them. He does deserve the chance to try and turn it around, because, again, who are you going to bring in that's going to change that, to be honest? So, yeah, just stick with him, personally, because, again, he's only been in the job a year, and, we're still improving, we're still progressing under him. So I do think we should stick with him, personally. I do. 100% stay with Nigel. Ryan Williams, stick with Clough. Bolton last season did it. Well, yeah, that's what I mean, and I keep using Bolton as an example, but it's the same thing. They had a rubbish start, and all the sticky and Evitt got last season from Bolton fans. They wanted him out of the club. They wanted him gone because of the start they had. And I know we can't stand Ian Evitt because of the Chesterfield connections, but credit to him, credit where it's due. He managed to turn it around and got promoted, and it's one of them. It would be so good if we could do that, if the team could just go on a similar kind of run to what Bolton did last season, where they could just we could just do that. And who knows, in January, if we make a couple of good signings, then who's to say we can't be there, really? Because, like I say, there's so many games to be played yet. Like, who's to say we can't do that? Excuse me. But yeah, like I say, going to look at last night's game, again, for their first goal, I don't think you can say anything more than it was a great free kick, and no keeper in the world would have saved that. Top corner, brilliant strike, you have to say. But again, it was one of them goals, wasn't it? It was totally against the run of play, because we was dominating them, and all of a sudden they get a goal out of nothing. But that's just kind of how it's been for us this season so far. But credit to the players for bouncing back and not letting the heads drop. And again, we should have easily got 3 points last night. But again, if we can keep performing to that level of intensity and keep on having a go at teams, then sooner or later that win's going to be not far off, is it? So we've just got to keep hanging in there, keep on giving it the all, and hopefully it will come off. You see, my only issue is, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same on this, but as good as Hawkins is as a centre half, we are missing that attacking threat from him, because see all the goals Danny Johnson has got for Leyton Orient last season. He is missing Hawkins up front with him, because I don't think he's one of them players, Danny Johnson, up front on his own. It can get goals. I think he's a player that works better with players up front with him. So as soon as we can get Forrester back there defending and then Hawkins up top, then hopefully the attacking threat will be better, because again, we're looking so light up front without Hawkins, and I know we got Bowery up there as well as Johnson, but I think it's clear and obvious to see that without Ollie Hawkins up top, we are struggling for goals. So the sooner we get Ollie Hawkins back up top, the better, I feel. I don't know if you guys agree, but sooner he's back up top, we'll look a better side up front. Excuse me. But yeah, again, last night, the atmosphere in the stadium was bouncing. It was great, and again, it just shows you what we can do. We do, but another position that I do feel as though we are missing is wingers. I don't think we've got enough wingers not enough width for me. There was times last night as well as this season where I don't think we've had enough width. Like a out and out winger like CJ Hamilton. I do feel that we've been missing that, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if anyone agrees with this one. This is a bit of a controversial one, but I don't think the diamond formation suits us, to be honest, because we haven't really got many results from it, to be honest with you. So maybe a change in formation could work, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the diamond, really, if I'm being honest with you. So I think that's something we need to look at, maybe trying to play a different way. Let's have a look. Just reading more down your comments. William, we need a quick, skillful player, in my opinion. Yeah, well, we've got Tyrese Sinclair, but he's only been given some appearances at the minute, so he's got a lot of skill. Tyrese has, but yeah, I know what you mean. Somebody that can take players on and just have a run at them, essentially. But yeah, like I say, Nigel will know better than the rest of us. Like, obviously, he trains the players day in and day out, and he'll know what players will strengthen and what areas we need to strengthen in. But yeah, that would be I agree on that one totally, because we haven't really got many skillful players. Let's have a look. Ryan, we need the partnership up front, as we have seen it changed a bit. Well, yeah, we have, and I get Nigel's trying to change things around to try and find out different partnerships to work and all. But again, it's obvious without Hawkins up top, we are missing him big time. I mean, like I said, we know what Danny Johnson. We know Danny Johnson's got goals in him, but if he's not getting that support up top, then he's not going to get the goals, because, like I say, for any striker to get goals, if you're not getting the service, then where's the goals going to come from? So again, this is what I'm saying. We are missing Hawkins a lot, but again, until obviously Forrester as well as Norty get back from injuries, we obviously got to make do with that, really. Let's have a look. Call Miner Man. Only problem I have with Nigel, he name drops players who haven't performed. Fans already know that, so he just should keep it in house. Yeah, I agree with that. How can you motivate players when you say injured players are better than the ones who are playing? Very good point in that. And I had a conversation with a fan last night about that very same thing. It's like in a job. If you've got a boss that's constantly calling you out for things for not doing a good job, I just find it very unprofessional, to be quite honest with you. But I mean, yes, like you say, who's played bad. The players will know that themselves better than anybody. They'll know if they've had a bad game. So as a manager, in the olden days in football, yeah, that would have worked. But football has changed a lot now, and I don't personally agree when managers call out certain players. Yes, they've had a bad game and what have you, but as supporters, you know that anyway. But like you say, it doesn't give the players confidence, because players will think, well, if that's what you think of it, then you've made your mind up on me already. So it's not going to fill anybody with confidence. So yeah, it's tough. And like you say, I did find that comment about after the Northampton game a bit of a strange one, because if you want to get the results, then by calling out players, it will affect their confidence. If obviously we're already low on confidence as is anyway, with us not getting the results. So when you're calling out players, it's not going to help, is it? So essentially, because yes, they know how bad they've been playing, but again, you don't want to be called out for it. So yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Evening, Chris. Good point against informed Port Vale. Yeah, it was, Chris. We're lucky not to win it on the night. We should have got another penalty, and are lucky not to win the game, to be honest. But much better performance and result as opposed to the Northampton game, where we just didn't turn up at all. So performance-wise, it was it was just exactly what the doctor ordered. But are looking up to get a win. But hopefully that's a sign of things to come where we can pick up the results. Let's have a look. Ryan, we look better at 4-4-3 in my opinion. William, the diamond does work, but only with certain players. Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's just getting them players and that right mix of them doing that, really. So, again, I'm no expert in tactical things. Obviously, I'm just a fan. I'm not really a big thing with the tactics of formations, but obviously, if the results aren't working, then surely it's just about changing formations and just even if it's just basics, really. So even if it's a 4-4-3, sorry, 4-3-3, like what Ryan said, then why not try that? But either way, as long as it gets you the results, you're not fussed how you play. Just as long as you can get the results, really. Chris, if you're going to call out players, keep it private. Yeah, 100%. I don't get managers that do that because it just doesn't do confidence any good. It just it just doesn't help things, does it? Let's have a look. Excuse me. Who's the next player to come back from injury and when, if anyone knows? Well, Kellen Gordon, from what Nigel was saying, is I think 7 to 10 days. So I think he'll be next week, realistically, hopefully. So yeah, Kellen Gordon's one. Will Forrester, he had a chest infection, nothing serious, but hopefully he'll be one that's not too far away. Maris, as William said there in the comments, so hopefully that's going to be 3 players. So yeah, Gordon, Morris, and Gordon, Morris, and Forrester. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, they can't be too far away. Because like I say, once we've got Forrester back, surely you put him back as a centre half, wouldn't you? You put him straight in there because again, when would you really put him in? To be honest with you, like I say, he's if it's fit and available, why don't you just put him in and then move Hawkins back up top where his natural position is? But it all depends on obviously how he's feeling for Saturday. Will Forrester. So, like I say, we are slowly getting players back from injury. Obviously, we've got Tyrese as well as Quinn back from last night's game, which was a boost, especially having Quinn back in there with the experience that he's got and with how he plays. You could tell he made an instant impact on the pitch. And again, we look so much better when he's in the side, Quinn. Morris could start Saturday. Yeah, Morris, he's another player that's a workhorse like Lapsley and Charlesley. He's not afraid to get a foot in and he's good attacking player as well. So it gives us more options going forward. So, we are gradually getting players back in the side. So, yeah, like I say, we've got a few coming back. But again, who do you drop out the side? That's the thing. Obviously, with George Morris potentially coming in Saturday, depending how he's feeling, of course. But, would you start Morris this Saturday or would you keep the midfield the same as a team that played last night? See, personally speaking, I would keep it more of the same on Saturday because, again, the players play well and so I wouldn't really change anything from the lineup that played last night. Obviously, in case of injuries or anything, then you obviously change things. But I'd keep it the same lineup going into Saturday. To be honest, I don't know if you guys think the same, but I'd keep the lineup the same as with the team that played last night. Barring injuries, of course. Let's have a look. Come on, man. Good draw in the FA Cup, Sunderland away. Expect big following in the Stadium of Light. That could set us off on a run like the Liverpool game. Well, hopefully. I just find it so strange how we've got Sunderland in the second year in the FA Cup, but instead of being the second round, instead of being in the FA Cup, we've got them again. So it's just quite insane to think we've got them again. It was the same with Preston though in the League Cup. We had them last season, then we get them this season. So it's such a weird draws how it's fallen like that. But it is what it is. But if anything, though, it'll be a good away day for the fans going up to the Stadium of Light. Of course, it's a Premiership standard stadium and a massive, away ground to play up against. But again, anything can happen in the cup. I mean, nobody would have thought that we'd have got anything from Sunderland last season, but we did. So, anything can happen in the cup, really. Uh, but yeah, like I say, it's going to be interesting to see how we approach that one. But yeah, we shouldn't really fear anybody, really. To be honest, I mean, yeah, we want to get forward in the cup, of course, but yeah, let's just give it a big shot. I'm sure we'll take a good away following there, and yeah, let's just hope we can give it a roll and see what happens. Essentially, but yeah, it's just weird how the cup draws have fallen this season. It's been shocking, hasn't it? You know, but it's just how it's fallen for us this season. It's a really strange one, to be honest. Ryan, are they fixed? Well, I'm starting to question that myself, to be honest with you, Ryan, because it's not very often that happens, is it? You know what I mean? But it's just our luck at the minute, isn't it? But end of the day, you can only beat in what's put out in front of you. So we've just got to go there and give it our best shot, really, and again see what happens. Just like we've got to in the league, really, just to give it a roll and see what happens, really. Obviously, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a different Sunderland team to that we faced last season. Lee Johnson's there, I believe, and they've improved under him. So it'll be a different type of game. But again, anything can happen in the cup, and you've just got to go there and just give it your best shot, as I say. So yeah, like I say, we'll see what that's like when we come to that. So obviously, Exeter this weekend, another massive game for us, another tough game as well. I mean, Exeter's one of them sides. It's always been a tough game. Exeter has, no matter when we've played them, and we've never really, we haven't managed to get a win against them in quite a few seasons, and especially away from home, it's always a tough game against them. But going into this weekend's game against them, would you change the lineup from last night's game, or would you change things around? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. So, would you keep it the same as last night's regarding the team lineup, barring injuries, or would you change things in the lineup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Chris, we've got seventh tier side Horsham in the first round at home. I take that with all due respect. Yeah, well, that's a great draw. That a non-league team away. That's perfect, isn't it? Exeter live a draw. Found a one for once. Let's have a look at the comments. Coal Miner Man 2-2 Saturday. I mean, it's one of them. It's hard to predict any game in League Two, doesn't it? Home or away. To be honest with you, because League Two, as we know, it's a created league. But again, we shouldn't fear anybody, really. I mean, yes, we need a win, obviously, sooner rather than later. But we have to go into the game full of some confidence from last night's performance, and if we can play similar to like that against Exeter, like we did last night, then we've got a chance. But that's if we can do that this Saturday. But no, I keep it more of the same, barring injuries, of course, because again, if you play it well, then surely you'd want to keep it the same going into this weekend's game. But who would be a manager, eh? Who would be a manager? Chris, if you fear teams, then you're in trouble. That's my attitude. Yeah, Chris is a Carlisle fan, so Carlisle, similar to ourselves, they've had a bad start to the season. But yeah, that's it. You've got to go in it and just not go gung ho as such, but you've got to be confident, haven't you? You've got to have that belief that you're going to get something from the game, and that's how you've got to approach it. Because otherwise, then you've kind of lost from the start, really. So you've got to go in with it thinking that you're going to win and giving it your best shot, really. As long as we don't play like how we did against Northampton, then we should be all right, because that was a dreadful performance. I don't want to talk too much about that, but if we can If we can play better than that, then we've got a chance, you know. But this is a frustrating thing about us because we know from last night's performance we can play well and we can create chances. It's just small margins, isn't it? Really, you know, just them things where we should just take our chances more. And I know that sounds easy to say, like, but you know we can play better in that, and that's the most frustrating thing from my point of view. And you know, hopefully Nigel can again just change things around to try and just get us the results as soon as we can. Really. Let's have a look. Ryan, if we can play like we did last night, then no reason why we cannot win. Just got to put the chances away. Exactly, Ryan. And I know it's cliche to say, but that's all you've got to do. Don't get me wrong, it's all right playing well. But that's all you ask for. Excuse me. You just want your team to give it their all, like we've said before. And as a supporter, that's all you ask for. You pay your hard-earned money, you work all week, and you know you go to the matches home and away, and you just want the players to give it their all, because we do as supporters. We come out in our numbers, we travel, we're there for the club, home or away, win, lose or draw, Yes, we're not going to win every game, of course we're not, but all we ask for is just for the players to, give 100% like they did last night. And if they keep on doing that, then I've got no doubt we will pick up, Because again, if you don't have optimism, what are you in football for? You've got to have that optimism, despite the tough run of results that we're going through. Because again, you've got to be optimistic and think, right, surely we've got to turn it around at some point, and go on a winning run. That's how you've got to be as a fan. I do feel. But yeah, like I say, we've just got to attack it full on and just give it our all, and hopefully we can come away from the game. Chris, we drew 2-2 with 9 men. Newport last night. I thought we should have been beating 9 men. Really, Newport went down to 10 men when they were 2-1 up, but before game I would have took a point. Bad form can't last forever. Well, that's it, Chris. And obviously, yourself as a Carlisle fan at the minute. You're going through a similar run of form where the results haven't been going your way. And look, I can understand the frustration amongst fans. Yes. We should be doing better. There's no doubt about that, But but again, with the players that we have got coming back from injury, surely they can improve us, Because when we started off the season, two games in a row, we played well and we looked a good team. And we've shown glimpses of that in the previous games, even the ones that we have lost in. We've shown that in certain games we have got something there. And last night showed us what the team is capable of doing. It's just like you say, Ryan, taking your chances and just finding any way to win. Doesn't matter how you do it, even if you don't play well, even if you have to scrape to get a win ugly, doesn't matter how you do it, find a way to win. And then hopefully then on there you can just build on it. I mean, I know that's easier said than done, but like I say, you back Nigel to know, you back Nigel Clough for the know-how he's got in football to do that, because again, everybody's every team goes through a bad run of form, you know what I mean? And again, it can't last forever, and it can't, and as I say, I know there's been a lot of talk about, potentially sacking Nigel, but again, it's one of them. I don't like to be one of them where we should be sacking managers because it doesn't work straight away. You know what I mean? And end of the day, football's not like that. No manager can just come into a team and just wave a magic wand and all of a sudden you're challenging. It takes time. And it does. It does take time in football. And like you say, we've still got over 30 odd games to go yet. So there's so much time to turn things around in football. And yet there's still players that we haven't really seen the best of yet, with the likes of your Danny Johnsons, your George Lapsleys and other players like that we've got. And you think the players we've got coming back from injury, Kellen Gordon, if he can tighten up with his defensive duties, then he's a good player that we can have as well, because he puts some good balls into the box. So we have got players. The players have got it in them to do something. That's what I'm saying. It's just for them to be confident enough to believe in themselves and just to perform, essentially. Chris, still 33 league games remaining, a lot of games to go still. Exactly, Chris. And, it's one of them, life as a football fan's never easy, no matter what team you support. And again, this is why I respect lower league fans more than anybody, because because the thing is, we know as Mansfield fans, it's been frustrating for us. We've had quite a few managers in the past few seasons, and it's one of them. Just because the results aren't going away at the minute doesn't mean to say we should make a change. Because if you've still got plenty of games left remaining to turn things around, then you just stick with it, don't you? Just because things aren't working straight away doesn't mean to say if you bring someone else in, they're going to have an immediate impact, because they're not. So, yeah, we should just stick with them. We should. And then wait until January comes along, and if we can sign some players that can improve us, then who knows where we can end up at the end of this season. Because all we want at the end of the day is, as supporters, is just for a team that can go out there, give 110%, and just for them to, just so we can have a team to be proud of. You know what I mean? That's all we ask for as supporters, and that's all anybody wants, really. So that's all we want. Coal mine I'm on. With what's happened with Newcastle new owners with sponsorship rule, I wonder if the EFL have been looking into IE1 call, or do you think it will affect lower league clubs? I don't think it will, to be honest. If I'm being totally honest with you, and I'm sure a lot of you guys agree, I don't think your elite clubs, like your Premiership clubs, care much about the EFL or lower league clubs, to be honest. So I don't think it'll be something they'll look into. It's they don't tend to care much about lower leagues, in my opinion, anyway, from the higher ups. So I don't see it affecting anything. I would say no, to be honest. I don't think it's anything to really that they'll really be concerned with, to be honest. No, I don't think so. I think the only time they'll look into things is if, like, say for example, Oldham are going through a lot of financial difficulties. So if a club's going into administration, or if there's any debt problems, then they'll look into it. But I've always seen it as though they don't really care about lower leagues anyway. So I don't think so, personally. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. It's a very interesting subject though. You know what though? You know what I think would help lower league referees is, and I know this is really daft and it might seem controversial to some, but you know what I think what lower league should have, is VAR, because I do feel that the referees in this league are absolutely shocking for every team, and it's one of them. If they can have VAR in the Premiership and Championship, why can't we have it in the lower leagues? Because you can't just have it for set leagues and not down here. Because had we got the decisions that went against our way, then surely it should apply to the lower leagues, really. You know what I mean? That's what I'd always think. Let's get down to some of your comments. Me. Hang on. Ryan, who's going to Exeter then? I don't know if I will be able to or not. I'm not sure. It depends on if I hear anything back from the mate. So I'm not sure if I am personally, but if anyone is going down to Exeter, let's hope we have a safe journey and that we can bring up the 3 points. It's a very long trip, Exeter. I've been there quite a few times with this season. But yeah, like I say, we can't fear anybody. We've just got to attack it, haven't we? Let's not, focus on what other teams have been doing. You just got to go in there and just give it your all. Let's have a look. William, only in the FA Cup. Evening Walk. I've been criticised about my thoughts on Clough and Bowery. We still haven't won in 13 games. Now, Clough isn't daft. He knows he's under pressure. No manager is bigger than a club, whatever club it may be, from Ole at Man United to Clough at Mansfield or Steve Bruce at Newcastle. who's now gone, and on Bowery. He's not a striker. I think winger suits him. The best he's not done anything for me so far this season. I will back the lads at the club and the manager until anything changes. No, you made some good points there, Paul, to be honest with you. I just want to talk about Bowery first before Clough. I agree totally with Bowery. He's a lot better out wide, 100%. Now, I know he got 10 goals last season, which isn't bad. And, any striker that gets double figures isn't a bad return. But the thing is with Bowery, he's not going to get you 20 goals. And that's not critical against him. He's just not going to get 20 goals. But yeah, I agree. I'd play him more as a winger than I would a striker. So I totally agree with that, Paul. 110%. He's so much better out wide. He takes players on and he links up well. So yeah, I agree with that totally about Bowery. 100%. He works hard though, Bowery. To be fair to him, he does work quite hard for the team, and he'll have a go. So I credit him to him for that. But your point on Nigel, yeah, I agree on that as well. No manager's bigger than the club, doesn't matter what club, and I totally agree with that as well. And I don't know why managers sometimes view things like that. But yeah, like you say, Clough's not daft. He's been around in football long enough to know that. And look, he'll know more than anybody that the results are going to pick up soon because, like he said so himself, he knows how football can change, and so it's one of them. Obviously, he'll know better than anybody. Things haven't been going well, obviously, but end of the day, he's we have still got a lot of games to be played, and you just hope that he can turn things around, and it's one of them, right? Me personally, I think he should still get given the time because, like I said to others last night that I was talking to about this, it's one of them. Sacking managers doesn't always get you the success, and how many times have we done that in the past few seasons? And here we are still in League Two. Now I know some managers had to get the sack in terms of Dempster and Coughlin because of the results have been terrible. But again, I still think there's plenty of time to turn things around. But again, results do dictate things in football, as we know. So it depends on how these results go that we've got coming up. So hopefully he can get the results and he can prove us all wrong and get us on a winning run. But yeah, we have got to get a win sooner rather than later. And last night we was unlucky not to win it. I think we can all agree on that. The amount of chances that we had and totally played Port Vale off the park. And that's what really frustrates you because we can play like that 1 minute and then all of a sudden the next game we could just be totally different. So if we can play like we can against Port Vale, against any other team, then we'll be all right. But I think January is going to be a massive window for us because it's quite clear and obvious that we are in knee deep of another centre half as well as strikers as well. Because again, with Hawkins back in centre half, we've lost our main attacking threat essentially. But yeah, let's have a look at more of your comments, guys. Let's have a look. Paul, and totally agree with you on VAR. People will turn around to you and say, we don't want it. We don't want it. Well, the thing is, though, it's like, I don't get what people are against VAR on because it's one of them referees need help, and it's one of them. We have, we know how bad the officials are in this league, and it's one of them. You need the decisions going against you for both sides. So again, I don't see how you can have it in two leagues and not the others. You know what I mean? So we've got to. It should be for all leagues. I don't care what anybody says. But I don't know what if that will ever happen. Let's have a look more of your comments, guys. Thanks again for commenting, guys. Really good, some good comments tonight. Let's have a look. Paul Quinn should be captain, as with Ollie Clarke's liability, short-tempered on the field, bad attitude. Well, I agree with Quinn being captain. I mean, nothing against Clarke because, again, I thought he played all right last night, to be fair. But I wouldn't say he's captain material, Ollie Clarke, just purely because he doesn't shout enough for me. And I don't know. I don't. He's not really captain material for me, Ollie Clark, and I've said this quite a few times to people. So no, I totally agree with that. I'd make Stephen Quinn captain, and if he was still fit, James Perch, I'd make James Perch captain had he not got his injury. So, but yeah, I totally agree with that. Ollie Clark, I don't view him as a captain material. And again, I'm not saying he's no leader, but I just don't view him as captain, in my opinion. So I agree on that one as well, Paul. To be honest. Hi Mark, hi Christine. Let's have a look. Cormana man went to Exeter once. If the owner scored, if I was going, I would have been stopping night. Took ages. Yeah, it's a long trek, innit? I've been a couple of times. I've been out at the SSA a few times over the years, and it is quite a trek, innit? To be honest, so overnight thing isn't a bad idea at all. Like I say, if you can make your own way up there, like yeah, it's a long trek, and same with anybody that travels to Carlisle as well. That's another long trek as well. So, credit to them fans that's going to make that long journey. Good question here. Ryan, what frontman would you like to see coming in January, Mark? Ooh, now that's a question. Regarding names, I mean, I don't actually know anyone in particular, to be honest, Ryan. I can't really think of anybody in particular that I'd go for specifically. I mean, just someone that's. The thing is, it's one of them. It's a tough one because obviously January is a tough window anyway for clubs because in the summertime it's more easy to get players because they're out of contract and you'll have more time to negotiate. Whereas in January it's tough. So I don't know specifically who I'd go for. Just even if it was just someone that's a player that's, if not experienced, somebody like a good young up and coming striker. But I get someone that's at least scored goals in the past. Personally, I'd like to think we'd get an experienced striker, but again, it's such a tough window to find January, so it's going to be a tough find. But just anybody that can. Just add something different up front and get us goals really, but again, just an experienced frontman if possible. But again, that's easier said than done because who's out there that would come really. That's the difficult thing really. But yeah, just some experienced frontman in my opinion. That's who I'd go for. But there's going to be other clubs that'll be the same as us, so it's going to be a tough one. Paul, what clubs are going to want to let players go in January? We need a couple of defenders, possibly another forward. Well, exactly, Paul, and that's what I'm saying. January is a tough window because, like you say, clubs aren't going to want to let players go. If you want to get players from other clubs, you're going to have to spend. A bit more than you usually would. I mean, it makes you wonder if clubs are going to go back in for the targets that he missed out on. That he tried to get in the summer, so that'll be an interesting one to see if he goes back in for them, or he could go for somebody else. Obviously, we're not going to know until it comes around January. But yeah, defenders, and I would say we need another striker because obviously when you look at the front men we've got Rhys Oates up there, Danny Johnson and Ollie Hawkins. Now them three have scored goals in the past for other clubs. But I still do feel as though we do need another front man just to give them some more competition as well. So, yeah, I still feel as though we need another forward and definitely defenders, 100% defenders, definitely. Paul, do you think Perch will call it a day? I think he will, to be honest. It's such a shame, innit? Because again, he was just such an amazing figure for us in defence, on and off the pitch, and it, like we've said before, the amount of the big loss he's been for us is just it's really killed things there, to be honest. But yeah, but it's one of them though. You've just got to make do with that, haven't you? And you've just got to hope and pray that the players that you bring in and the players that are still available can step up. Really, I mean, we've got World Forester that we haven't seen yet. You hope he can come in and do a good job there. He's had a lot of good things said about him, so hopefully he can slot in there when he's back fit. But to be honest with you, I think Farron Rawson's really improved, and same with Elliot Hewitt. I think they've really improved in these past few games. They have. They've really improved as well. I feel in the past few games they've played, but we still definitely need another centre half in there with experience. Let's have a look at more comments. Ryan, maybe me be a Danny Hilton, or is he past it? As I don't think Luton use him. I don't really follow things, to be honest with you. From other leagues, to be honest, I don't think they use him. Last time I remember seeing him, he was on the bench. But Danny Hilton, he's always been a player that's been linked to us, hasn't he? He's always been every transfer window that we've had. He's always been a player that's always been mentioned, and obviously nothing's ever come off there. So, but it also depends on Nigel if he would bring in a player of that experience. So it wouldn't be a bad shot, but again, it's like you say, if he's past it or not really. I mean, obviously he's in his mid-30s now. Not to say that's a problem age, but I think, like I say, like with any other player, you've got to think of. I think realistically, the only players that we can really bring in January are players that's not playing, or if they're on the bench or alone. They're realistically the targets, because, like what you said earlier on, Paul, what teams are going to let players go in January? You're not going to find many that are. The only way that's going to happen is if you chuck money at them. But that's the case if we do that or not. But again, we just, whoever comes in, they just need to improve things. But again, January is a tough window. But whoever we sign, I'm not too fussed, as long as they can come in and just improve us, whether that's defensively or offensively. They just need to come in and make a big impact, really. But like I say, it's going to be a tough ask to do that, really. Let's have a look. Paul, Donny Johnson's confidence is shot at this moment in time. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's one of them. You can tell with that he's missing Hawkins as well, because he did play quite well alongside him. So that's not helped either. So yeah, like I say, it's vital we do get another centre half in as well in January, so we can have Hawkins up top. Because again, even though he is playing well in centre half, Hawkins, you're taking away an attacking threat, so you are missing that. Excuse me. So yeah, again, he is low on confidence, but it's one of them. The only way to get confidence from a striker is to score a goal, and unfortunately, he hasn't really looked like that in the past couple of games that he has played in. But like I say, obviously, you don't score the goals he scored last season and not get attention. So he has got goals in him. We know that. I mean, it's one of them. A lot of clubs, went to get a signature alongside us, and he's proven he is a goal scorer. He's proven that. But at the minute, like you say, his confidence is shot, and you do hope when he does get his next goal, it will get him firing on all cylinders, really. But the only way he's going to get that is by scoring. So, hopefully he can do that sooner rather than later, really, because he's another player that that has come in with a lot of expectation. He's had a really good season last season at Orient, and hopefully he can do the same thing here at Mansfield, really. But again, the biggest thing as well is the supply. The supply does need to be better. I mean, last night the supply I felt was really good from the midfield. There were better balls into the box. The midfield put some really good balls in, and you do hope that he can get on the end of some of them and take his chances. Because again, the good thing is we are creating chances. It's because it's always worrying if you don't. So we are creating the chances. It's just they need to take them away. So again, that's a huge positive as well. We are creating chances. Again, we just need to be more clinical. But how many times have we said that over these past few weeks? But that's what they need to do. Ryan, maybe Johnson needs to get 2 goals in a game or a hat trick to start his season off. Well, yeah, even if it's just a goal, though, isn't it? You'd like to think if he just scores the one, it will get his confidence up. But that's the only way to get a striker's confidence is just by scoring goals. And again, we know he's capable of that. We know he's got it in him too, just like we do with the other players. We know the quality that they've got. They've proven it before at other clubs. It's just you hope they can do it here at Mansfield. But yeah, like I say, there's 33 games to go yet. We're in the mid-October now. So when January does come around, it's going to be huge for us, because it's going to determine whoever we bring in, where and how where we're going to end up in the second half of the season. So I know that's still a couple of months away yet. January, we're talking about January like it's next month, but it's not going to be too far off. But look, all we can do is just keep working hard, just give it a roll, and sooner rather than later, hopefully the win's going to be not too far off, really. Like I say, very unlucky not to win last night. It was the best that we've played in quite a while, to be honest, especially at home. Obviously, the comments that Nigel made after the Northampton game obviously riled the players up that much that they, really did put up a good on performance. So, again, that's all you want. That's all you want the players to do. And whoever's in charge at Stags, we all obviously want them to do well and be successful. Of course we do. We just want anyone that plays for us and managers to do that and bring us a success. Like I say, Nigel, he'll be under no illusions that he's under pressure. He mentioned that the last night, and it's one of them. We all want him to prove us wrong. We all want him to be successful, and hopefully he can bring us that success. And with the injured players that we've got coming back, hopefully they can improve us, and again, just to step up really and show us what they're made of. Coleman, man, the fans clapped and praised the team off if we got 3 points last night. So the players know we are with them. That should inspire them to play well, work hard. That's all we want. Exactly, and I couldn't have said it any better than myself. That's all you ever ask for. And again, if they can carry on doing that for large parts of this season, then nobody can have any complaints, and it should give the players confidence, because we went toe to toe with a team that's having a great season. Like I say, they was the informed team going into last night's game. But the thing is, you wouldn't have thought that, would you? With how we played, we virtually played them off the park, and you wouldn't have thought Port Vale was the formed team. You'd have thought it was the other way around. And you even heard Darrell Clark say after the match that he felt as though we was in a false position. So that in itself tells its own story. And again, we've always been there, the fans. We've always been there. We've not gone away. We've always had the support. The support's always been great, home or away. The support's never gone away. It's just the players just haven't been able to, get the results. But no, the fans have always been. The majority of fans have always been supported. To be honest, that's always been noticeable. To be honest, hasn't it? It's just the players and the results haven't been going away. Evening, Nathan. You thought it was nice. I thought it was nice clapping the fans at final whistle. Yeah, it was, and that we were just saying there. Look, end of the day, every team at any level has bad run of results, and I know 13 games is a bit of a while to get a win. Yeah, it is. There's no other way of looking at it. It's a long while. I mean, the last win was obviously in August, so yes, of course, it's been a long while, and yes, it's frustrating. But again, like there's been teams that have had poor starts this season, like Bolton, for example, last season, and look how they managed to turn things around. So, hopefully we can do that. And again, hopefully Nigel can be the manager to do that, to turn things around and get the players playing the football that we know we can play. And again, if they can play like we have done against Port Vale as well as against Bristol and Newport, then we've got a chance. So, and again, it's same for this weekend's game or against any other team in the league. We've just got to focus on us, play to our strengths, and then hopefully we can just go on a run. Then hopefully. Because again, you've got to be optimistic. You've got to go into it thinking, well, we've got a chance here, and hopefully the players can do that. Right, Ryan, Nathan, sorry, I'm getting names mixed up here. There's not many people commenting. I think we definitely been unlucky with loads of players out. Do you think when Perch was ruled out, that could have knocked the team confidence? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. I think it's been clear and obvious without Perch how much he's been missed, not just on the pitch but off it as well. It was such a big blow that we haven't really fully recovered from, to be honest. But it's one of them in football. Obviously, injuries are a part and parcel of it. Just unfortunate for us, it was one of the most key players for us, and again, it's just been the story of our season so far, hasn't it? Really, with the players that we've had out, whether that's been through injuries or suspensions, it's just again, I don't think any Mansfield fan can remember a time when we've had this many players out in such a short space of time. It's quite phenomenal when you think about it. Because what team have you ever known to have this many players out in such a short space of time? Because it's just not something that happens really, but it has, and you've just got to deal with it, And you just hope the other players that are still there step up and do the job. But yeah, that was a huge loss though, losing Perch though. Same with Quinn though. When Quinn was suspended, you saw the impact Quinn had last night. Soon as he soon he was on the ball, he was making things happen. He was putting balls into the box, and again, he just had such a big impact. And Stephen Quinn's another player you can tell we've missed so bad in midfield, because when Stephen Quinn's playing in the midfield, it's more vocal. He gets stuck in, and that's the kind of players that you need. Players that can, get the fans behind you, and just make things happen. And again, if we had more players like that, then we'd be a lot higher up in the league. Put it that way, But yeah, like you say, the injuries have been unlucky. I mean, injuries are out of control. They're just part and parcel of football. But the amount of injuries that we've had, like I've said, it's just you just can't account for it, can you? It's just how it's fallen for us. But look, as I say, there's still a long way to go in the season, and again, let's just hope we can just play to our strengths and not worry about other teams and just go for it. Basically, that's what we've got to focus on doing. Essentially, But yeah, like I say, it was a great night last night, and again, unlucky not to get the win. We know we should have got another penalty, and we should have got the 3 points. But again, we can take a lot of positives from that game going forward. So let's hope we can just improve on that this Saturday against Exeter. Yes, it's going to be a tough game, but again, every game's tough, especially when you've not been winning in a while. But it's got to end at some point, hasn't it? So why can't we go there and get the 3 points? I mean, Exeter themselves, they haven't been on a great run, so maybe it's the best time to play them, to be honest with you. But who knows in League Two? Who knows? But yeah, that's all I've got time for tonight, guys. Thanks again for tuning in tonight and having your say on everything MTFC. And I think overall, we're just all the same. All we ask for every single game is for the players to give it their all, and so they can come off that pitch after the full-time whistle and say what, we've played the best that we can, and we'll give it our best shot. Really, that's all we can. That's all we can do essentially. But yeah, like I say, we just need to keep on going and sticking with the players, sticking with the manager, and again just stick by the club. That's all you can do as a fan, obviously. And sooner or later, the look's going to change at some point. So hopefully we can do that sooner rather than later and start showing this league that what we're really made of, really. So you've got to be positive, haven't you? You've got to be optimistic. Thank you, Mark, Ryan. Cheers, Ryan. Thank you, Coal Miner Man, and thanks everyone else for tuning into this, listening to this, or watching this wherever you are. Appreciate the support as always, and yeah, I mean, again, let's just hope we can just go to Exeter on this weekend. No fear, not show Exeter too much respect, and just give it the best shot. And if we can do that, then hopefully we can come away with the game with at least something. So yeah, that's all we can really do, really, guys. But yeah, thanks again. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope we have an even better weekend this weekend. And yeah, that's it. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate that. Take care, everyone. Up the Stags.